Based on 30 plus years of work experience, I can confidently state that some of the most successful professionals and even business people are not necessarily the most intelligent, talented, or the most capable people in their fields. Most often, besides their competencies, they also have been able to create an excellent personal brand. They manage to build excellent rapports and bonds with people in their ecosystem. They are able to win people's trust, their confidence, and have a substantial influence over them. They often enjoy popularity and the support of their juniors, co-workers, and importantly, people who are in positions of power. And with such strong support, it is no surprise that success in terms of position, power, or money comes to these people a lot easier than the rest of their competition. To highlight the importance of personal branding, allow me to quote Shari Levitin. She is a global expert in sales training and a published author. She famously says, "Before people make up their minds about your message, they make up their minds about you." Which means that long before people make up their minds about whatever it is that you are representing, they make up their minds about how they would want to deal with you. Let me give you a personal example. Every now and then, I need to step out to buy some fresh vegetables. Now there is a proper vegetable shop very close to my house. Their stuff is fresh since their supply is on a daily basis, and the quality of their stuff is also pretty good. However, the man who runs the shop is quite a grumpy person. He has a permanent frown on his face, he doesn't bother to look at you, and he's rather curt if you try to ask him something. I often get the feeling that he doesn't even like me coming to his shop. On the other hand, there's a grocery store next door who also stocks vegetables and fruits. Now, since this is not his main business, his supplies are not as regular as the vegetable shop. And so, obviously, his stuff is not always as fresh and the quality not as good as the vegetable shop. Despite this, unless of course the stuff is really bad, I often end up buying from there because the gentleman who runs the store is an extremely pleasant personality. He always has a smile on his face, he greets customers by their names, and he is a very well-mannered person. It's actually a pleasure meeting him. This means that I end up buying slightly inferior stuff at almost the same price from someone just because I like dealing with him, rather than give my business to someone whom I don't like dealing with, even if his stuff is slightly better. And over a period of time, I found that a number of my neighbors also share the same sentiment. They prefer to deal with the grocer rather than the vegetable vendor. So let us repeat. Before people make up their minds about your message or whatever it is that you're standing for, they make up their minds about how they would like to deal with you. Let me give you another example. If a person whom you respect or look up to were to give you a suggestion, maybe a career move, chances are that you won't hesitate to go for it. On the other hand, if a person whom you don't really have much regards for suggests the very same, you may not even consider it. This is the effect of a person's image or branding. So to end this chapter, let me repeat that to grow rapidly in your career, other than being talented, skilled, and competent, you also need to build an excellent personal brand and win the support of every possible person in your ecosystem. If you agree with this, let's move on to the next chapter to learn how you can build a personal brand that will add a boost to your career graph.